I'm 23 years old and I currently travel the world creating creatively ambitious opportunities for people online. And here's one thing I've learned. It's that you have to trust your instincts and embrace the mystery that follows. You have to, during this journey of going all in on yourself, you're going to be alone a lot of the times. Not everyone around you that you grew up with is going to believe in what you're doing or even understand what you're doing. And I've learned you need to take that energy that you'd often spend explaining it to them and put it into what you're actually building and identifying your purpose and your plans for execution on this path. Because as soon as you start doing that, the people, the opportunities, the experiences, they simply start to present themselves and you have to follow them. So if somebody approaches you that wants to help you grow your thing and you have to travel to go get there, this opportunity didn't exist before you started pursuing your passion. So embrace the mystery and get after it, because life gets a lot more exciting when you do that.
Live. Dennis, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on. Could have rehearsed that one, I guess. Anyway, so I'm really excited to have you. Obviously, you've been in Miami now 18 years, as I just heard. You have your own real estate brokerage that you started at 29. So I'm really excited to talk to you about that. But really where I like to start with every guest, just to really get the present mode of how we're feeling, is what is top of mind for you right now?
What is what? I'm sorry?
What is top of mind for you right now?
What do you mean, like, by the top of mind?
Your main focus in the last, call it 24 hours even.
Usually right now, tomorrow is my daughter's birthday. So that's what on my head at top of mind.
Gotcha.
But look, in general, like I would say, as the broker, right, and as the company owner, what I had lately on my mind is that season is coming, because usually we have seasonality in Miami market, I guess, for every business and real estate particular. And that I'm thinking about to have that season really, really good one. I'm growing my team, I'm hiring new guys, and I really want to expand, and I really would love to achieve better results. That's my goal, like to work hard this year.
100%. So can you talk to me about, especially for those listening, like heading into season?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? When is this something that you've been prepping for maybe the last 30 days? Or can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. First of all, as I mentioned, like during the season, we have much more going on, right? During the summertime, you can work on the content. You really kind of relaxed, I would call it that way, because compared to season, there's much less things to do. So, and the way I'm preparing right now, I'm talking to my guys. I tell everybody, guys, look, right now it's time to work, because we really have to work during this time. I'm looking for more new guys to join my team, like agents locally. I just spoke to BizDev, business developer. She gave me a couple of ideas, because I'm looking to hire one in my team to grow that referral network with other brokerages within US and internationally as well. So pretty much trying to look at every kind of part of my business and see how I can make it better.
100%. And in terms of what this next phase you're about to enter, the Miami season, what was the time frame on that?
I would say, like in the real estate season, for example, if we're talking about the people that starting come to Miami, usually end of November, December, they start renting places and they come in here. And if we're talking about real estate transactions, usually they happen a little bit later, because people start looking at real estate, and it takes some time, 30 days to close it. But usually Art Basel, I think good point. Art Basel, it's the first week of December when people come here, and you see there's like a lot of people in town.
100%. And do you think the priority during this season, is it a lot more of you hunting down, how are you going about finding new clienteles during this busy season? How do you approach it? Because there is such an influx of people. Are you focused digitally and just optimizing these business systems, getting in front of as many people as we can? Or is it a lot of attending events and like, shaking hands, making deals like that?
You mentioned all of it,
Yeah.
digitally for sure. You have to prepare with the clients. For example, there is a yacht show coming in November. I forgot the dates in Fort Lauderdale. So I told my team, guys, get in contact with all your clients and check, like not with all clients, but with those who has a boat, who has interest to buy one, and see if they come in for yacht show, right? For example, I have one of the client. He's from Mexico, and I spoke to him. He told me he ended up buying a house in Dallas, but I had a conversation with him. He said he's coming here for boat show, and the guy, he has a Lursen boat. It's feet, like 200 plus. It's a big boat.
Yeah.
And he's coming here. I told him, look, there's a yacht show and there will be side events from Rolls-Royce for Lauderdale. I do have friends there and they're going to create events. They will send me invite. I told him, come, I'll invite you as well. And he said, yeah, I'm coming. So I'd like to see him in person. I never met the guy in person yet, right? And so I tell everybody in my team, just check with your clients, with your leads, whatever you call them, right?
Yeah.
Check with your clients and see if they come in or not, right? It's one thing. You kind of prepare your digital clients, right, that you never met before if they come. Then going back to like IRL, right, in real life.
Yeah.
So you go to events, you meet the new people, and that's how you kind of find clients who are already here and they are ready to maybe buy something right now, or maybe just to start conversation.
Yeah, I like that you touched on that. So you're building digital relationships and you're maintaining those digital relationships. Yeah. And a lot of these people getting in contact with you through content, obviously just staying prevalent in terms of what you're like preaching and like making sure your name is out there. I just think that's really important because I think people, they undervalue digital relationships right now. Even though it is so abundant, they think there's no way it could be as much as in person. Like you get on FaceTime with somebody, it's very similar to being.
Look, plus, when you meet someone in person, this is the human psychology, right? When we met, we look at each other, we kind of analyze each other. We had brief conversation, we liked each other and this and that. It takes some time, like we have in Russian, we have that phrase, when the men meet each other to become friends, they need to do one or other things. One is to drink, another to fight. And then you kind of break this ice, let's put that way.
I like that.
But when you do virtually, it takes some time, to become, let's put it, friends, right? So, or to become a client, you need to earn that trust. I also teach my team, when you're on the phone someone, right? For example, there's a few ways of contacts, right? You can meet with someone as we do right now, right? Or you can call someone. That person can hear your voice, right? Or just text message. That person cannot even hear your voice. Or you call someone over FaceTime so you can see that person, right? You have more connection. If you meet in a real life, you have even more connection. It's just faster to connect. But still, we have, I can tell you from my experience, we have clients. We've sold real estate to people we never met in real life. And we've sold apartments for 5 million, 7 million. We have one guy, he bought probably 10 to 12 million in real estate. We never met him in real life. Yeah. Just everything over the FaceTime, video calls, it takes time to build that trust, right? And that's, by the way, what we do right now, right? Yeah. When you have more content, people can see you. They can kind of look at you as a profile, let's put it that way, right? And see if they like you, they don't like you. The more they see about you, the more they know about you, and more they trust you, or maybe not trust.
Yeah, I like that. And I like that you've just taken, you guys have taken full advantage of the economy that we're in, the creator economy, of course, and the many almost free resources there are to get your name out there. I am curious now, kind of getting more into the real estate specifics side of things. You're a broker at 29. How? In one sentence.
I don't know. That's all what I can say. Honestly, a lot of things I've done in my life, and I'm just looking back, I'm like, why? I've been doing things. And I guess this is the what I see also in my friends and clients slash they like most of them they are entrepreneurs, right? And sometimes like they just do things, like I have one friend, he's the way he does things, like for example, he has a thought in his head, and within a second, he's already talking to his assistant or to one of his like CEOs or someone. He's like, okay, let's implement it, let's try it, let's do it. He purchased. Okay, I always can talk about real estate, but unfortunately, no, not unfortunately. Fortunately, this is part of my life.
Yeah.
So I want to give you an example about that guy. He bought apartment at one of the buildings for like a few $1 million, and he didn't even like kind of know what is it size of it and like nothing. He's like, yeah, let's buy it. And then, by the way, what did I buy? Because he kind of heard about that it's a good investment, and he's like, okay, let's do it. And he makes decision quickly. So, and back to your question, sometimes I used to do things like I guess I have to do this. I have to try this. Same thing. I started as a realtor for a couple of years, and it was kind of next in my head, right? Evolution of this profession, right, to become a broker. Mm-hmm. But also, if someone is gonna watch from the like a realtor's side, right, guys, keep in mind this is to become a broker. It does not mean you make more money or like I don't know. Maybe you want to please your ego, right? Like I'm sure it was one of the reasons why I was doing it.
Yeah.
Like to become company bigger and this and that.
Yeah.
But in reality, as an agent, if you're gonna have a team, like if you will implement social media, like marketing, a lot of things, you can make much more money than most of the brokers. I can guarantee.
Okay, I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Because I know you've been in Miami 17 years. Mm-hmm. How much of that has been real estate?
Since 2012, so it's in 2024, like 12 plus years, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. And then now, when you started in real estate, how long were you an agent before you decided?
3 years.
So you were and that's the minimum, right? To my understanding.
That's the minimum, yeah.
That's the.
But I even passed exam before the 2 year, 2 years time frame, because I wanted to open a brokerage, right? I got courses, I passed exam, and then I was waiting for the 2 years mark to come.
And did you feel that you had sold enough real estate, or is it more about the ownership of like being your own boss?
Ownership, for sure. I can tell you, first of all, I'm like grateful for everything that happened to me, anything, like literally anything, every bad experience, everything. And with the real estate, when I opened my brokerage, it was more, it was more responsibility, right? I was having my clients, right? And managing like my kind of small business, let's put it that way. Cool. When I opened an office, I had more responsibilities, and I had to spend less time with my clients and more time with the brokerage. So if I wouldn't do that, I think my business would grow at the beginning like bigger and faster just to being as an agent, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I see a lot of parallels with this in terms of like sales and becoming a CEO, or like being in marketing and then being like a CEO. It almost seemed like you were the agent and you were learning real estate and you're getting exposed and you were watching what good brokers do, or potentially, I'm not sure, but probably you were watching what good and bad brokers do. And then when you became a broker, it was like, okay, now I have to be the best agent in the room.
Yeah.
And I have to be the only CEO in the room, or like, so essentially the best CEO in the room too, not having the experience side of like even being called, like even if you could intern for a broker, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's really interesting, because I see a lot of guys in this online space where they'll say, I have a social media marketing agency, but they've never learned sales. So they can be the best marketing person in the world, have the best idea, have the best marketing, and they don't have success. Whereas the guys that do sales for 2 years and then go launch a digital product, even if it's teaching people how to do sales, see so much more sustained success. But again, like I'm entrepreneur first as well. So I think it's like you just dive in and we learn as we go. And that's why you've probably done what you've done now. So talking about present day, is there a figure that you can talk about in terms of how much real estate how many transactions you've been a part of?
For like a lifetime?
I would say since your career started, yeah.
Probably like over than 500 million.
Nice.
We have to do numbers now, but
yeah.
for sure more than that. It's been a couple of years ago when we did those numbers.
When you first started, was that did you even think about numbers like that? Is this part of the plan,
no,
or is this
actually,
surprising?
actually, I remember one of the articles I've seen. I don't remember where was it, Real Deal or somewhere else. There was an agent, I forgot his name. No, hold on. I think it was Chris Lewitt, or if I'm not mistaken, or maybe some other name. And the guy was from $1 Million Listing or something like that. And I've read an article that his team closed 100 plus $1 million. And I'm kind of, okay, his team or him. No, actually it was him back then. I didn't know right now, if you want to close $200 million a year, it's not just you have a team behind you. But back then I was looking, okay, $120 million, 3% commission. Wow, it's $3 million. I'm like, okay, guys making money. But in reality, you spent like a lot of it first, and you have a team. It's not just you. But still, I look at it. I'm like, okay, wow, that's I like it. It's just, I realize it's up to me if I'm gonna get there or not. It's just a matter of time and my effort, right? But pretty much there is no sinning. You can just push it, and that's pretty much what I've been doing it here.
Yeah, that's super cool to hear, because I always like to just kind of see, you reach these goals that you may have not even been thinking about, but because you just showed up every day and you like showing up every day and it doesn't feel like work, there is no cap on what you're doing. Now, you are a family man, and we don't want to talk about that too personally, but I do want to know, how has life changed since you had a child? Because I know you had the business before that. And can you talk to me about that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. Look, first of all, you have more expenses. When people, I remember a friend of mine, she asked me so since you had a daughter, do you spend a lot on it? I said, look, I don't even pay attention to it. Honestly, I don't look at it because I don't want to look at it. I'm just making sure I'm making money to cover it, not to worry about it. Because seriously, Amazon, I think is our best friend, packages, nonstop, 5 times a day, literally. So it changed in a good way for sure. You have more. First of all, this is once you have a kid, you can feel what it is. It's new emotion that you never try in your life. When you try something different, when you try something new and you love it, you're like, wow, this is something new. And here you have creature that your daughter, son, right? And it's just something differently. I think once you're ready, everybody has to have it. There is no other option. And business wise, time wise, you have no time for sure. If before as an entrepreneur you thought that you've been working a lot and this and that, it's not for entrepreneur. If you really love what you do, right? It's not. I guess at least from what I see, it's not hard to work a lot. You can work a lot. What I used to do. I used to wake up at 5:30, 6 a.m. gym, all day working, literally all day. Just go to bed, and I can do it every day, 7 days a week. But with the family, you have to kind of put things on hold. You have to prioritize, right? And make sure you're not kind of working 7 days a week. Unless, of course, my opinion, right? If you kind of don't want to spend that much time with the family, but look, it's you have to. This is the responsibility, right? If you're making a kid, you have to give that time to the family. And it changed in a good way in every direction, mentally, financially, from what I see, right? And also when you have a kid, the universe supports you, if you have your mind in the right way, right? It supports you. And I see every person from my circle having the same kind of thoughts,
Okay, I like that. And I like that you, in a way, a lot of people may not know how to react. And I'm sure the unknown of how is life going to change, because you had built something that was successful and sustainable. And now, not to call a child a distraction, but it has to be. It has to just take you away.
No, for sure it takes away. But the thing is, it's how to say that? If I was 20 and then I had a daughter, I had a different, not a mindset, how to say it? I had a different hat, Now I'm kind of more calm, I look at the things different way. Look, first of all, you have to look at the things and think, how to say it? If something bad happened, for example, sometimes people call me, there's something bad happened. One of the latest cases scenario, I purchased business. I had a agreement with a guy. Our kids was friends. We went to dinners, blah, blah, blah. I knew a guy for a long time. I had a contract with him that if something is not going to work, I can return it back to him and he's going to give me my money back. It didn't work. So the guy didn't return me my money back. He just disappeared. Now I'm going to sue him, blah, blah, blah. And I spoke to my wife and she's like not kind of happy about it because, when you like go to dinners with a person, right? You kind of have trust in him, you have emotional attachment. And I said, look, do we have to accept it as the way it is? I'm going to look back at it maybe in 2-3 years, and then I will kind of think to myself if it was bad or good, because I don't know what's going to come out of it. And actually, I already found another person. He did kind of similar type of scam with them, and they gave me an attorney who already sued that guy, and that guy lost, and he is paying back to those guys. And those guys already told me, look, Denis, we have an idea. Maybe, we can talk and maybe we can create something together. And this is how you cannot react to things right away, right? Yeah. Same thing with kids, right? They are very, in general, it's a stress, right? When you have a small creature that screaming like nonstop, it's stress, right? But if you kind of look at the stress in a more calm way and ask yourself kind of like, is that bad, good? Like what is the worst case scenario when something happened, So it's kind of, you have to really like calm yourself, meditation helps, by the way.
Yeah, I can tell you're a meditator, and I am as well. And it's conscious when you're in the room with somebody, because I can tell you have this very unique perspective that everything that's happening in your life is happening for you, and that there are lessons learned, and it's just these, and like what better person to potentially go into business with than somebody who also had a similar aspirations and then felt the same pain and now solve the same problem. And what better person to help you solve that problem? So by you not panicking, that person comes into your realm, and people don't want to attach and trust that. But I think it's kind of how you can create that calmness. Meditation practice obviously helps, but yeah, just staying calm in those moments, because there's nothing, you accepted it immediately. A lot of people may not
creating problem out of it. Plus, for example, when there is a problem arise, also it's a good, I like that. I hear that very often. I'm gonna look at it the same way. When there is a problem and you're trying to solve that problem, you're not gonna solve that problem with the same mindset and same kind of the way you look at the thing. You have to step on the side, calm yourself, and look what you can do, how you can kind of figure out, But if you're in that, I would say, like mindset, right? When you create that problem, then you're just gonna continue, like making that problem even bigger.
Yeah, you'll continue to just manifest it. So that's what you're focused on. Cool, I like that. Now, before we wrap up the real estate side, I did read an article that you had done at this time. I think it was 20 million in crypto transactions on the real estate side. And I'm really curious about that in terms of how it's evolved, because as like we've watched the market do what it's done. But yeah, can you talk to me about that experience, doing real estate transactions with crypto?
Look, it's changed a lot since first time I tried to approach one of the developers in 2018.
Okay, so 2018 was your first hey, this is applicable.
Yeah. Okay. I had a client, he wanted to buy with the crypto. It was a bull run back then.
I followed it for quite a bit.
So it was a bull run back then, and I tried to approach. They said, look, we're not ready for it. And then probably 4 years ago, when another bull run about to start, people start asking about buying real estate with the crypto again. So, and I started finding the ways how I can make it happen. And since then, we've done more than 20. We've done close to probably 50 million in multiple transactions, maybe 20, 30 different, probably like 20 different transactions, new developments, resales, and people are more. First of all, there is more companies that can help you to convert. For example, if you want to sell your real estate, right? I'm the buyer. I want to buy with a crypto. Maybe you don't need a crypto, right? Because you want to buy another apartment or something else. You need US dollars to use it. So there's a companies like third-party companies. They can convert my crypto to US dollars, and you get US dollars as just a regular transaction. There is no changes for you within the transaction. Same time frame, you're getting your money in the currency that you wanted to.
I like that because I was going to ask you on the typical, I guess, the feedback that you got from it, especially because of the volatility of the market. I want to know, did you find that the people who sold their properties for crypto, were they the type that were holders and probably wanting to watch it go? Or as far as you know, do you think they primarily would cash it?
Yeah, primarily they cash it. They just want to get.
They just wanted to make it easier for the person who is buying their house.
Exactly.
Okay, I see that. That makes a lot of sense. Any repeat buyers with crypto?
Yeah, actually, yes. yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Actually, I have a first crypto buyer. He's a good friend of mine. He's coming here in December. He found me on Instagram online.
Cool.
He's my first crypto buyer, and he found me online. I never met the guy.
He's a fan.
Yeah. So he found me, and then he contacted me. He's like, "Hey, can I buy with the crypto?" Excuse me. He said, "Can he buy with the crypto?" I'm like, my first question, yeah. And I didn't know how, but I said, yeah, I would figure out. And I found the companies, as I said, a seller didn't want to accept the crypto, but I found company that can convert it. And then he bought another apartment, and he has a couple of crypto projects. Hopefully, he will buy more real estate.
Yeah. And have you ventured down I know for a little bit there's digital real estate?
No, not yet. I'm thinking sometimes I had my kind of thoughts on tokenization of real estate, but I have a friend of mine. Her name is Natalia. There's a Propies RWA company, and they've been in the field for a long time, and they can do tokenized real estate. They used to sell through NFT, and I think when I'm gonna need something like that, for sure I'm gonna work with them.
Yeah, I was a part of a startup that was trying to evolve in that space when it was first coming out, and NFTs were obviously that big thing. And the reason I was attracted to it was because it created this idea of tokenization of real estate. So that's why I was curious, but obviously that kind of fizzled out. I do like to see that the crypto transactions are still taking place. I think obviously the safety of it and seeing how open it is. But talk to me about this upcoming, just kind of tying it back to this upcoming season. What are you looking forward to in the market? And I want to kind of help our audience a little bit here as we enter this busy season. What should they be on the lookout for, or anything that could help them if they are looking?
Like audience, if someone is looking as from the real estate side or from entrepreneurial
Yeah, so somebody who's going to be actually, I should rephrase this question. If I'm looking to buy or sell during the busy season, what are some things that would help me?
First of all, to work with me. That's going to help.
Work with Deniss, step one. And honestly, Miami specifically. Yeah,
you have to work with a professional for sure. If it's me or someone else, you have to work with someone who knows what he's doing, with the experience, with the track of record, right? And with someone who use tools that are available right now, like social media, for example, even the crypto transactions. I met actually one property owner in Armani building. He owns the penthouse, and I had a conversation with him. He said he tried to sell it with the different brokers. It didn't work out. And also we spoke about one thing that happened pretty often here in Miami real estate, that people work with as a sellers, right? They sell with some brokers, and brokers, they just put it on the market. They don't advertise it. They don't market the property. They don't do anything. They just put it on MLS, and they wait for other sites to come. Of course, it's their, bread and butter. That's what they do. But if you really, for the seller wants to sell the property, you need to have someone who's gonna work on the content, on the creating, on kind of spreading that message that, okay, here is the property, and kind of pushing in that direction. If we're talking for the buyer, the same thing, right? Seller, buyer, you need to work with the professionals for sure, and depends what you're looking for. Miami has a variety of different properties.
And this is where we can bridge this, because I think this is perfect. So a lot of my audience, they are 18 to 30, some older on the LinkedIn side, of course, but they're running digital offers. A lot of them are digital nomads. A lot of them are sales reps on digital offers. And they all get together, do Airbnbs, months in Marbella, months in Miami, and the idea is they just want to sit there, work, and do what they do. We were talking before the show, the space we're in now, is kind of the legal way to go about that.
Yeah.
So can you talk to me about this opportunity and like what?
Yeah, sure. This is a rental community, right? It's called Feeling Lofts, right? Feeling Lofts. It's one of the buildings. By the way, I'll tell you a story when I met owner of this building a couple of years ago. So, and this is one of the buildings where you legally can work, live and work, right?
Live and
so
work.
You rent that place and you can live here. You can do your business, right? No matter what it is, and you're not going to be kicked out by association. There's this building. There is a building in Midtown and a couple of other buildings as well. And back to owner of the building, I think he's Ronnie. I think Ronnie. I have to check my phone. So I had a restaurant in the Sunny Isles 8 years ago, and I was one of the days there. And then the guy came to me, approached. He said, "Look, are you the owner?" I said, "Yeah, I'm one of the owners." Blah blah blah. He told me, "I have a space in the downtown area, art and entertainment district. You want to take a look at it? Maybe you want to open cafe there, like restaurant." Sure, why not? We exchanged the numbers, and I came here. I found out one of the spaces he was offering me retail space on the bottom floor, and the guy he was owner of this building. He built a couple other buildings next to, and he has a couple parcels of land. So I accidentally I just met him like in a cafe.
Interesting. Okay, very cool. And when you talk about, so there's certain associations where you can't work out of the place. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. Look, there is restrictions. Every building has a HOA, right? And there is restrictions. You cannot do business. You cannot open up real estate office, right? I mean, you can claim, how to say that, you can have your kind of office in your apartment, but you cannot bring clients, right? You cannot make meetings there, officially, legally, right? Because this is going to be, if everyone will create a business out of their apartment without
there would
approval.
Be no office space.
But when the thing is, it's good when you have options, right? If you want to live in a building like this, and you can do business out of your apartment, someone else can do, you're okay with that, right? So there's nothing wrong with it. If you go to different building and there's a different rules, and someone play by other rules, you don't want it because you want what you were signing up for.
Nice. Now, what do you look for because a good part of my audience is also similar position to you, has aspirations of being to where you're at. So you're a family of 3, obviously you're a real estate agent, entrepreneurial. What do you prioritize, and what have you found works for you in terms of a place that you're looking to live?
You mean prioritize like the
so like when you
place I like?
Yeah, like what kind? What do you look for even as a agent? Are you looking for anything right now?
No, look, it's all relative. I'll be honest with you. I used to live here in different neighborhoods, from Brickell to Sunny Isles, Toronto, a lot, Miami Beach, couple of times.
Okay.
It's all, I guess, depends on the stage of your life, right? Yeah. Last place we used to live at Edgewater on the 47th floor, but we weren't kind of too happy with it. It's a corner unit, but it was windy outdoor, and we did not spend much time outdoor, but we wanted to, right? Now we moved to house in Miami Beach on a golf course, and it's quiet. I go outside, there's a bird singing. I'm like,
cool.
I love it. And it's centrally located. I came here with 10, 15, probably 12 minutes, 10, 12 minutes. Yeah. For now, that's what I love. But it's all relative. As I always say, someone likes Coke, someone likes Pepsi. You cannot kind of say, okay, this is only for you.
Yeah. And now I'm curious, if you had to go back and you were 23 and because guys always ask me, they're like, you lived in South Florida for 5 years. Like, should I move to Miami, do this? You're 23 and you want to build. is Miami the place to build?
To build, do you mean like a real estate?
I mean,
Or
sorry, build your
career?
build your career as an entrepreneur. Would you recommend
Uh,
it at that age?
You know, I'll tell you, it's how to say that. Me personally, I used to go parties a lot. You know, I used to do things, but I've been always working a lot. Same time.
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah, I used to work at the restaurant. I used to work at different businesses before I started my own, right? And Miami, it's a big city. That's why I moved from Outer Banks to Miami. There was like, I don't know, 10,000 people. You have 5 million people here, right? It's different, right? You have a lot of kind of opportunities around you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Miami has a lot of temptations, you know, and you need to understand something for everyone who's watching. You have to like, you have to be, you have to think what you want, right? Because here it's really easy to go to like wrong direction. What I mean by that, when I remember myself, you know, like during Monday to Friday, I've been working. Like when I started real estate, I've been working Monday. I've been working 7 days a week. But what I mean by Monday to Friday, if you call me on Wednesday and you tell me, "Hey, let's go to movie," I mean, come on, man. Of course, someone is gonna call me first time, but second time he's gonna call and he will find out I'm not going on movies on Wednesday or to drink on Thursday or to do something else on Tuesday. Monday to Friday, I was working, and working. Unless you're a client and you tell me, "Hey, let's go for a drink or let's go this and that." This is the business, right? And that was my kind of schedule, and that gave me what I have right now, right? You grinding, right? I used to, as I said, I used to wake up at 6 a.m. gym, and I was in that type of mood. If you go out on Thursday, of course, it depends on the business, right? But I think most of the businesses, if you want it to be productive, you have to be, your hat needs to be cleared, you know. And if you go out on Wednesday and you have a Thursday morning like meeting, or even not meeting, no matter what you have, if you go out on Wednesday at night, you're not going to be at your 100% at Thursday for sure. Even like glass of wine, even if you go sleep instead of 10 at 12, 1 p.m., you know, because you're sitting in front of a computer or on the phone or something else, it's just not helping. So to answer your question about Miami, yes, because it has a lot of opportunities. It's a huge city, but you have to put your priorities in the right way, you know.
I like that. That's good advice. And it's good advice to hear it from you, somebody who's been here 19 years. I tell people I lived there for 4 years. I came from a small town in St. Augustine, as you know, and it was a little bit of a culture shock for me. And I had my ups and downs with it. I definitely had periods where make the most of the opportunity. And I had periods of shiny object syndrome, burnout, saying yes to everything, you know. And continue.
Yeah, look, especially, how old are you?
23. 24 in November, so close.
Especially, you know, when you are like 20 something, you cannot, how to say that? You cannot separate something because you don't have that, like, from, as you said, like shiny objects from some real stuff, right? Because you don't have that much experience, right? If someone, as me, right, a person as me as well, when I used to have some people and they want to meet, I thought they are clients, you know, but in reality, they were just kind of wasting everybody's time, and they were not even, how to say that, I cannot judge, it's not judging saying good or bad people, but they were with a different life views as me, right? I used to work at the restaurant as a different jobs. I came here when I was 20. I have like kind of how to say that, I respect other people, you know. I go to a restaurant, I will never like be mean to waiter or something like that, because I know it's you know, it's life. So you have to, it's not just about you, it's about everything around you, right? And back to when you're 20 something, you don't have that much experience. You cannot separate things, what's good, what's bad. So you have to try some of them, right? To realize, okay, was a good idea, this is a bad idea, but you have to learn it, right? If it your experience, you have to learn from that experience, but not to repeat that experience over and over and over again. The best thing what you can do is just to go to gym, maybe to meditate, to I don't know, do any exercise, something that you have like as a routine on every day, right? go to bed. I used to go to bed at before 10, like 9:30, 10. I was out, like, oh, that's it. Like, I need 1 minute to fall asleep. That's it. It was enough for me.
Yeah, we have a lot of similarities in terms of like just in our 20s, like grinding, working at the restaurant, like going, waking up, at 6 a.m. and like having this energy now, but making the most of it. Also the work hard, play hard mentality, as the people who know me know, but it's also that it follows the same lines of like experimentation. Like, yes, we were having fun, but we were experimenting. And I don't regret any of those things because I'm the type that has to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
And when you're that way, like you have to fall on your face to make a huge change.
Yeah.
But like you just hit on, it's do you repeat that same mistake? So the maturity comes from, okay, I felt this major pain, I fixed it. But now when the opportunity is going to present itself again to make that mistake again, it happens every time. And then are you going to do it, again, essentially? So I'm glad you made that point of like, it's if you repeat them, do they become like really, failures in my opinion.
Exactly. I agree with you on that point. And you have to, as you mentioned, you have to try things for sure. You have to. You're not going to find out. You have to try things in the business, right? In life, if you want to like change, right? Not just to be in the same position, let's call it that way, right? You have to try things and see what's working, what's not working. Yeah, even in the business, with the marketing, right? When I started my digital campaigns 6-7 years ago, how it happened, guys approached me and they told me, look, you wanna try something? I said, sure. What are we gonna do? And they said, we will send traffic to you. We will create campaigns. We will give you like leads, right? We will keep part of the commission, like kind of like from it, right? They will create a structure for me, and I'm gonna close leads, and that's how we're gonna do it. I said, sure, why not? We tried, we started with them. So there was a main guy, there was someone else. So pretty much the main guy who organized everything, he found me, he found another person who was creating campaigns and everything. And everybody's getting their part of the pie. And after like few months, nothing didn't work because the guy, I guess, first time he tried to do something like that. And so he hired that guy, he quit, he found another person, so the third person, after probably a year, said to me, look, Denis, that's it. It's not working. I'm going to go. And the other guy who organized everything, he also kind of quit. And I did continue all that stuff. I realized, look, I already kind of in it for a year. I couldn't figure out. I just need to figure out how it's working, that's all. And I found a way.
Yeah.
And I found a way. It just took some time, with the... like tries, you try different things, time, money, of course. And
and that was going to be the way that you had to learn it. So you were going to have to bring in some guy that was outsourcing it, because a lot of you guys listening to this, I know that's what you're doing, running your Facebook ads, is you're finding somebody in the Philippines to do it, and you have no testimonials, and then you're getting high-level people in the door, and you're blowing it, and you need to stop doing that. You need to learn how to do it first. Because I see it too much. And then the worst part is they go and coach people to do it. And that's why I have this show, to like kind of just expose all of that and be like, these are the real guys doing real deal business. And those that aren't, that are in the or that are just early in the process, we're also showcasing. But yeah, so that's super interesting. I'm glad you touched on that. Now, we got about 5 minutes left, so a few things we'll kind of run through. One thing I always like to ask is, what are you focus most on? Like, what's your biggest weakness right now?
Croissant.
What? Croissant?
Yeah. No.
Fitness?
That's my biggest weakness. No, weakness. I would say, like, to be honest, this is one of my weaknesses. I accept
public
it.
speaking?
No, not the public. The public, like sweet stuff.
Oh, okay. Because I was like,
honestly,
you're good at public speaking.
No, not the public. I'm okay at that.
Yeah.
I think so. Of course, I can be better.
Sweet.
But
Okay.
sweet stuff, this is honestly something that I feel is my weakness, because sometimes I cannot resist it,
Mm-hmm.
And if you like, I'm talking to myself and I'm realizing this is something that controls me,
Yeah.
Because if you want to be conscious, did I ate enough, or maybe I need something else, or if someone, like, for example, you just remind me something, when you're 20 something, at least from my experience, someone calls you, or hey, let's go out, let's do something. You just do it, And then you kind of like, oh, why did I do it? Maybe I just wanted to sit home, just because someone called me and asked your friend or like, I don't know, girl or someone, and you just do it. And you go against you because you didn't ask yourself if you really want it, or it's just because, it's just emotionally you act too quick. You didn't give it another thought to think and ask yourself. So, and with the sweet stuff, same thing. Like my brain is a hostage of the sugar.
That was probably the best way you could answer that question. Because literally people will hear that and they always hear these long drawn out answers. But to learn from that question is literally what controls me. So that's why I hope everybody listening to this just went to their brain because they know, like, And then the next one I had for you, we've talked about like being in our 20s a lot. And just if you could go back, I always say whatever age I am, I always ask them, knowing what you know now, what would you be telling 23-year-old you? What would actually, I framed this way better in my notes. What would 23-year-old you needed to / wanted to know, or like something, like that based on what you know now, like what could you have told him?
I remember I was sitting with my friend on the balcony. He's my good friend since like 20s. And he said, if I would see myself back then, if I would meet myself like 18 years ago or like 15 years ago, he said, first thing what I would do, I would punch myself. And I would say, focus and listen, like at first. That was funny. But honestly, I would tell myself just to relax, man, enjoy the journey, because everything is going to be good. Because we, like me personally, I guess most of us, we're all humans, right? We worry too much about things, like really worry too much about things that doesn't mean shit, man, to be honest, like, it doesn't mean anything if you look back at it, right? And life is great. Life is, beautiful, and I'm really grateful for everything. So I would say just, do what you do, like continue doing it, don't worry about anything, And also, I would say don't listen anyone who will, who will be on the negative side. When you meet people and they tell you, oh, real estate sucks, for example. There is so many realtors. I remember at the beginning, I had a couple of those people, they approached me, and I guess they felt from me that like attitude, like, get a fuck out of here, don't tell me this. This is my passion, I don't care how many realtors, I don't know. I'm gonna do what I do, I'll make it happen.
And these were guys at a higher level that were like, what are you talking about?
Older people, for example, you look at them and they like, I don't know, they are, you think they are smarter, maybe wiser or something, and they tell you something and you kind of take it as advice, you think, okay, they know what they do, what they say. But in reality, they don't know shit, They know in their business, maybe in their life, some things, but they don't know anything about your life, about your business. And it's really important, just kind of, also it's back to kind of ask yourself, like look at, kind of talk to yourself, like meditate, like analyze things, right? Not just to automatically accept it as a fact,
I like that. And did you have this level of awareness at that age, at 23, 20?
No, for sure.
When did that start to come into play for you?
30 something when I started.
30 something.
Okay. I started doing yoga,
That's
meditation, like 30 something for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Glad we touched on that, because some people think these guys that reach the level you're at, they've been like this since they were 18. Yeah. And I like to make a point like, hey, you were 30 and you woke up to some of these healthier, self-observation habits.
Like I would say, with a mind that I have right now, it's starting about 30 something, doing yoga, meditation and all of that. But the thing is, what I would say the most important part, what I realized, one of the most important parts, that you need to learn how to spend time with yourself, without TVs, without social media, without your friends. You just go home, and you sit home, you kind of read, or you just like in a quietness, because we are like 24/7, interactions, right, with the people, with the social media, audiobooks, like music, even music is good. But, if you 24/7, you hear something, I mean, of course, not 24/7, we sleep, but still, if we hear all of that, when are you just with yourself? You need to be sometimes with yourself.
This was the biggest unlock I had in the last 15 months, where if you're lacking self-confidence comes from knowing the self, So if you don't spend time with yourself, how in the world would you get to know it? So I realized I was in a place where I gave so much of myself to everybody else that I knew everybody like the back of my hand. And I was like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And no wonder you're feeling down because you don't know who you are. You haven't spent enough time with yourself. And I was like, when I knew myself the best, I was meditating, I was hitting the gym, I was alone. And so that was a big part of me moving from Miami was I was just too distracted. It's like, I need space. And it's been so much beneficial. It's probably why we're sitting here having this conversation. So yeah, man, I'm really glad. I think that's a great thing to end on. But yeah, man, any final thoughts? Anything we have to look forward to?
No thoughts. Look, yeah, I just want to tell you I'm impressed with you. You're 23, right? How to say that? I can be helpful, right, on your journey. I would love to,
Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
When I see someone who's like 20 something and with the right mindset, just keep pushing and my doors are open for you. You can always call.
All right. I appreciate that so much, man. Dennis, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Good.